aboard the Morning Express.
Good morning.
You are listening to the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good morning. It's day 17 in the month of February, the second month of the year 2026. Beautiful morning to you, wherever you're locked onto the Super Dial. Definitely. The Dow is quite super, as we'll always bring you super content at every point in time. You can always, just relax and tune your radio station at any point in time. You would never regret that, as you always enjoy the conversation we bring up here at every point in time. So good morning to you, wherever you are locked on to Mela 98.3 FM, known as the sound of Lagos. Yeah, 17 days gone already in the month of February. Well, while some are saying quite still slow a bit, and while others affirming to the fact that, well, the year is already running, the month is running by, whichever it is, let's just put our mind to whatever we intend to achieve, especially for those that have come up with different resolution from the beginning of the year. So how far have you gone? How far have you been making sure, taking action on whatever resolution or whatever project, whatever achievement you intend to achieve this year 2026. You're welcome on board to the Morning Express right here, all encompassing. As always, we always make sure that your morning is a very interesting one, as we bring you up to speed as regards what's going on. We let you know what's trending in our papers, most especially in our dailies, majorly the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, to see all of the new political or existing stories, updates we have, be it socio-economic, be it sports, be it health, be it education, whatever it is, updates that we have in our dailies. Will definitely bring that on board every morning, just so you can go ahead with we just decide to take this upon ourselves and make sure to keep you updated on several happenings. So you're welcome on board. This is Mela 96.3 FM once again. My name is Tūkpē Akinyosoye. I will not just be pointing out the trends, you'll also be giving several apt analyses to these stories. I mean, give perspective to these several issues from in-house analyst and personal side forward. He'll be joining us shortly, but before then, let me remind you that you can listen, you can enjoy an audio visual experience. I mean, you can have an audio visual experience wherever you are. See how it's going on in the studio so whichever is more convenient for you to use, you can definitely connect with us from there. You can also listen via Radio Garden at Mela 98.3 FM. Either you download Play Store or Apple Store, that's depending on the kind of phone that you use, and then you get to enjoy the conversation right here as it is getting hot from our daily. So you're welcome on board. My name is Tūkpē Akinyosoye once again. So while we're trying to get through to side forward, we'll just give him a minute to join us and give analysis to these issues. But just quickly, like I mentioned, on a very sad note, with a very unfortunate and sad story of a 9-year-old strangled to death by 3 passengers. They ordered the ride of the Nigerian e-hailing driver named Isaac Satlat. Very, very unfortunate. For those that saw the video, right? And it was after the dash cam footage of the incident was shared widely on social media, and this actually had gone viral, sparked public outrage. And then the suspect, we had Dikeledi Mfela, who is 24 years old, in court in Pretoria yesterday, and they later abandoned their bail condition. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll get through to try to connect with side forward so we can just get on with the analyses and the stories as they had broken this morning. Right. So that's giving an update to what happened in South Africa. Good morning, side forward.
Yeah, good morning, lady.
I mean, that's definitely what we hope for. Even what nature throws at us. All right. Without further ado, I was just narrating the very sad incident that happened in South Africa with the students, the e-hailing driver, trying to survive. And then in Pretoria, and police had confirmed that the fourth suspect had handed himself over and is expected to appear in court today as well. Which the victim is just 22 year old, a Nigerian national living in South Africa, and his family said that the attack was not, connected to his nationality, despite the repeated cases of, xenophobic violence. This is not other neighboring countries, African countries. And according to prosecutors, the suspect, they just ordered the ride, and that was January 11, last Wednesday, car, and they allegedly forced him to stop. They strangled him. I saw the video, quite horrific. Thank God for the dash cam actually that captured everything that happened in the vehicle, but it's quite unfortunate side for it.
Well, I'd assume that they've not pleaded guilty, right? So that's why you have an adjournment of the case.
Right.
Well, even if they plead guilty, it will still be adjourned. But I have not read it anywhere, that once their charges were read to them, they pleaded guilty, even though there's overwhelming evidence as to what had happened. Of course, there was a dash cam that recorded everything. Very horrific. Very, very horrific. I think we've all seen the video.
Right.
The guy struggling for his life, how he was pinned down. I think somebody from behind was holding something to his neck.
Yeah.
Well, this report is also showing that it was not even just the two other people that we've seen, the lady and the guy. There were other two people too who had followed from behind. So
a calculated and premeditated plan.
Oh, this is premeditated again. For them to have even ordered the ride with a number that is not registered to any of them. What it means of criminal violence. How do I even put it? They have terrible cases.
I think that was the network that caught the connection right there, but we'll definitely try to reactivate the connection. Issues. We've started with the very horrific incident that happened. Aside for it, welcome back.
Yeah,
I think it was the network. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that, South Africa has got this terrible case of violence, it's robbery, gun violence, very, very extreme, terrible cases of killings on the streets of South Africa, robbery particularly, and it's unfortunate that the Nigerian has now suffered again from these kinds of violence. But wait to see, because again, there are people who are already saying this may also be connected to the nationality of the driver, who is a Nigerian. There are people who are saying, it could just be a xenophobic attack. But again, it was not just about killing the guy. They robbed him of his phone and his vehicle.
I hope justice is served. But beyond justice, a life has been lost. Nothing will bring that back, no matter the justice. But then I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, how careful can we be? Really, how careful can we be?
Well, it's not the fault. It's not only South Africa. I think we've had reported cases of carjacking too, by e-hailing cabs. We've seen e-hailing cabs drivers who have been killed in Nigeria too. People who have attempted to steal their vehicles and in the process have murdered them. So, but what we are just saying is that, look, for South Africa, they have these terrible records of robbery, gun violence. It's crazy out there.
Right, very crazy. Since we've started on a very concerning note, let me just always in our dailies quickly, we're just getting a report from the Punch across board actually, also about an arrest that have been made after two die on a film set, location set. Right, two producers, they found them dead. So the Lagos parked vehicle at a movie location in Lekki in Lagos, and according to the state police public relations officer CSP Abimbola DBC, before they were discovered unresponsive. And so the suspect had been arrested, because earlier we had reports that the victims that's been within the premises of Lekki area at a location where they were, of course, presently filming a movie, which was being used as a filming location. And and they reportedly entered a tinted vehicle parked within the premises to rest while they were awaiting the further production activities to go on for the film, said to be directed by just a former Big Brother Niger housemate too. But unfortunately, they were just found lifeless in the vehicle.
For the police to unravel, because again, part of the report that said that that says that somebody had brought food to them, because so it could be, that's also one angle. I think the police will be looking a case where autopsy will be needed. You can't have these guys buried without checking what has killed them. So autopsy, of course, will reveal what must have killed the two of them. It's not just one person. The two, dying at a movie set in a vehicle. It's a lot of work for the police to unravel. So it's good that the police is already on the matter. They've made an arrest, and I'm sure that it's a case that the Nigerian police can handle and get to the bottom of it. So we'll see what happens also from that angle.
Right, of course. According to reports, the bodies have been deposited in the morgue for autopsy and toxicology examinations. Still trends in the papers on Mainland 96.3 FM. And aside for quickly, when I saw, the awaiting result of FIFA on the World Cup that is going to be happening later this year, June. It's June or July. No, I don't know what the delay is all about. The FIFA is there to deliver the verdict on the petition that was submitted by the NFF, alleging that the DR Congo, fielded eligible players during the last November's World Cup African playoff, of course, to DR Congo on penalties. And so I don't know, permutations, speculations, whatever it is. Though according to NFF, their chairman, they had said that they wouldn't have written blah blah blah. But we are waiting whatever it is. Side forward.
You see, the problem is there are Nigerians who are even saying that, look, even if DR Congo had fielded ineligible players, we should still not qualify. Even if it's true. Look, because there was no reason why we have to be in this situation. But there was no reason why we had to be in a playoff situation to start with. If you understand what I'm saying. If you look at the composition of the group, the kind of teams, but we kept faffing around, wasting. So how can you have those kinds of players, and then you struggle to qualify in a group where you had low-rated teams? And so you have to now get yourself to the point where you're forced to play in the field. You are looking for petitions to get it done. But in reality, because if the report just caught my attention when they said, "Oh, FIFA had now said Nigeria has qualified for the World Cup," I said, "No, that tells me that this is fake." Because in reality, even if we scale through,
because there are two slots, just two more slots for the distance. So.
I don't know what to say, really. Well, a part of me wants Nigeria to be at the World Cup.
Another part
of me. Another part, the qualifier, so that it serves as a lesson, so that next time when the qualifiers start, to take it seriously from day one. From the blast of the whistle, you know that, look, every point counts. During the qualifiers, Lady Mo, there were 5 matches that we drew. Anyways, let's see what comes out from that angle. But I've seen Nigerians number 1 on the list of. Of course, I've shown that these guys are qualified to play for DR Congo. It's Mr. Ken or Chonogo. I don't know whether it's. We have to wait for the verdict of FIFA on that.
Maybe just to mark attendance, because even if you qualify, some had been questioning how far we
and you know the sad part, this is an expanded World Cup, so there will be a lot of teams to pitch.
Right.
My mind tells me that a lot of weak teams are going to be in that competition, and with the qualities from Africa. So it would have been a good one for especially our players who have not been to the World Cup before. People like Victor Osimhen, Lukman, because again, what about injury concerns? Anything can happen. So when you have the opportunity to play at the World Cup, you do everything within your power to ensure you be a part of. That's the biggest footballing competition.
Yeah, just in between, you're on the fence. We go fine. We make observation from. Thank you. Okay, we get with the conversation. Thank you very much for the observation. Earlier, INEC, even after the sitting deliberations on the electoral harmonized that yesterday, but that didn't happen. And so, of course, INEC had initially looked for March 6, 2027, but of course, the February 20 date with the holy month of Ramadan, projected to run from February 7 to March 8, 2027. So for many observers, activity and voter participation in a multiple faith nation and all of that. And so over the weekend, there were indications that the lawmakers were considering February 13 as a compromise date to address the concerns raised by the Muslim faithful, who frowned the more drastic option, moving the polls into January. That if adopted, the January 16 date would make the 2027 presidential election one of the earliest in Nigeria's of the 2027 presidential election to January 16, 2027. That's the because of the dramatic reversal of the earlier February 20 date because of the underlining holy months argument and all that side forward.
We are a religious people. We are heavily so, and it's a consideration that cuts across all divides, religious divides. Christian brothers, for so and all of that. So religion is a part of us. We are heavily invested in it. Already there are already questions as to the chairman of INEC. You still have some Muslim organizations in Nigeria. So you still have some people on the basis of what this man had. Because again, Muri can go and say, does he mean he doesn't know there are Muslims in Nigeria? Can you please look at your timetable again to see whether anything can be done, because that will be in the holy month of Ramadan. It's a different statement than actually to just want to disrupt things. And I think, from over the weekend, I already knew that INEC was going to list the elections we hold in January.
The electoral considerations amendment calculation was the one that brought about the earlier INEC these dates, and then of course the timetable in the first place. And if passage harmonization and then working towards the INEC,
timelines are clear. In fact, we are almost modeling everything up now. Lady Mo, because so what you have, everything we have are just propositions. Even as we speak, so reps is different from what has been passed by the Senate. What has been proposed by the Senate. So until there's an harmonization of those two bills, we have nothing yet to work with.
Right.
And so INEC is only playing safe by working with what the Electoral Act 2022 says. Trying to hand over. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right, of course.
So the National Assembly that has kept this too late. We had how many years to solve this problem? We had a lot.
When it now comes
we stopped it too late. We are now calling emergency. What were they doing all this while? Just basically fasting around or doing nothing. Look, the most critical part of what Nigerians are talked about, which is to reform the electoral process so that the votes of the people can count. Look at the way they are handling it. The members accountable if anything goes wrong with this election, which we are going to hold them responsible. Because they had all the time in the world. If they are really, why did they leave it this late? And look at the way they've been dealing that. Look at the way they've just been faffing around. Look at the way they've just been so lackadaisical about some of these things. Different interest groups, and the conduct of the election is still the Electoral Act 2022 until it is amended. The senior brothers at the Senate have just been problematic. Names of candidates, they've just been there causing trouble. So again, they were supposed to meet yesterday. That was called off because again, the Nigerians don't go and prepare for the elections. That's what I would say.
Well, we hope that. I even like the way Vanguard puts the headline saying that on the electoral hide and seek game in Abuja as representatives avoid the joint meeting. What is
the hide and seek about? If not that these people are not really committed to nation, they don't want this country to progress.
Or is it that because there are so many factors, there are so many indices to watch out for?
And Lady Mo, like I've just said, yes. Why we are even saying that these things have been done, earlier than this time, it's so that we dot all I's, cross all T's. Look, we are going to have a lot of loopholes because we will not be able to do a thorough job. some of them who are supporting the shenanigans will also suffer.
Well, all is well. Even the Guardian newspaper of those labor leaders also plan protests to demand the mandatory real-time in transmission. The Senate House set to reconcile differences over electronic transmission clauses at the riders in the Guardian newspaper. Stakeholders caution against weakening key provisions of electoral reforms. Divergent views emerge over proposal to shift polls due to Ramadan. Lawyers disagree on visibility, infrastructure, and practical implications. Also, the angle to the Guardian newspaper.
And this real-time transmission. So why no, this cannot be done?
And maybe because of the last election, there were polls that did not.
Lady Mo. The question we should ask ourselves is this: in the last election, where they said there were glitches in the presidential election transmission, was it about internet or what? Did anybody find out? Did the Senate at any point, the National Assembly point, conduct an investigation to say it might be a system malfunction? Yeah, because what the in a particular place. So, an INEC has not come out to say that internet in it about glitches in the last 2023 election, presidential election. Has anybody investigated what actually happened at that time? Might not be able to do it. There's never been any time. In fact, the survey conducted by INEC and the NCC talks about the INEC capacity to be able to deliver when it comes to real-time transmission of results. Is that in law, something must take prominence. Now that you've talked about manual collation, what it means is that at the end of the day, in the face of the law, it might still be majorly about money.
Well, thank you. I don't know. Let's see. We are watching and we are pointing out several. Are you there? We're pointing out. Okay, we're pointing out several factors because I've been on the how, and how we can better.
Did you see the National Assembly? Presidential election. They didn't even get to the bottom of that matter. Because I say again, glitches might not be about internet. It might not be about the internet. It could just be about system malfunction.
So what then is it about the committees that we set up?
Even Mahmoud Yakub, before my next chairman, did you see me ever even discuss and say, oh, this was what exactly happened? Was it that some of our system had the problem? Was it about
isn't that what should be the primary assignment of the committee set up to check the across our dailies this morning? All is well, Nigeria. Away from that, quickly, let's talk about him. Yesterday, DSS is even also on standby about it tapping.
What about ICPC?
He's back. He was detained at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That's 432 billion naira corruption probe. That's that. And also is expected to face the anti-graft agency had confirmed that the former governor who had arrived at the commission of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, which accused his administration of misal. That they don't rush to invite suspects. Persons accused are always confirmed that the former governor, honored the invitation, but declined further comments on the misappropriation there. Also on Ribado's boxed phone for the Federal High Court in Abuja over the. But that's the
EFCC has not actually gone to court. He has not been. He who alleges most proof. I know to say on that, and we'll see what comes out from that. Really, Malam Rufai, he was useless. Honestly, I'm trying to avoid the word useless, but they become very ineffective. To the point where Nigerians look at the EFCC. Look, even when they make a post on their page, go and look at the comments of other Nigerians. Because one had thought that this anti-graft agents do. Because one of the first steps, Lady Mo, to effectively fight corruption is to become
you are taking down.
But what we have seen of the EFCC, they are
influences.
They are already becoming like a tool in the hands of politicians. And it's not just now, it's been long. We are only hoping that things will change, but it appears nothing will ever change. With the way, I must say that for those who are in the opposition today, and those who are also ruling us today, 99.9999% of them all have questions to answer when it comes to corruption. Let me say it again. Those in opposition, those who are ruling us today, from 1999 till date, if we have a fully functional, independent-minded EFCC, there's none of them that does not have questions to answer when it comes to corruption. And I said 99.99% of them, even those in power today. So, but what do we have?
Where do we now start from?
It's that's why some of us look at some of their supporters or some of them who are politicians today who say somebody is corrupt, and I just laugh at them. Somebody is corrupt. Let me hear.
Thief carry it, thief collected it.
Somebody is corrupt. You that we know. Some of these people you are supporting that we know. And that's why somebody said, how do you begin to talk about fighting corruption from the altar of corruption? How can the people that El-Rufai would have his day in court, I assume? I'm sure he has got enough to be able to defend himself. People have said he's a man who is always very detailed. Again, this is not to Tinubu, Nasir Malanu Ribadu. It is not the fight of the people, it is their fight.
For fight.
So the only reason why we are talking about it is that these are newsmakers because of the position they hold in the country or they've held in the past. And we also will have to look at it from the lens of what the law says. But that we should be emotionally attached to this their problem, no. And that would be my advice to other Nigerians. Because you will be surprised that tomorrow you wake up, they are in the same boat again, working together.
Enemy in the morning, friend in the night.
So it's not our fight, it is their fight.
Anyways, that's the update on El-Rufai side. Let's just quickly warning against visa fraud, saying that such actions would attract stricter scrutiny for other applicants. It was posted on X yesterday that if you're caught, you're going to be getting a stricter punishment. They say visa fraud now. So if it's not,
wait now. Do you know that it stands? Nigerians cannot even apply for visas again. We're on the banned list.
Yes, no.
Except for people who have gotten their visas before January. As it stands, no Nigerian now. I don't know whether there's any category that can allow anybody to. But for now, nobody can apply for visas, even as a student. Visiting nobody.
Saifad, are you saying they are going beyond? If you were
no.
Okay.
You wait now. You banned us. You warned us. You are still warning again. Even though people cannot even apply again.
How do they call it?
We are warning you. You must not overstay. We do stricter. There are always things you just get just like that. You go to the U.S. embassy in a day, maybe like 5,000 people apply. Only maybe 3 or 4 are granted if you stay. It's kilo day.
They just take it easy on us. That's what I'm saying. If you were to be the president of US, with all these things, was quickly side forward. Finally, we have single digit food inflation for the first time in over a decade. It came down slightly to 15.1% in January, down from 15.15% recorded in December 2025. That falling sharply in January.
Well, I know I'm coming there that it's now single digit for the first time in how many years?
10 years.
Okay, so again, we need to get a basic understanding of what inflation. The people that will not even understand what we are talking about, we'll talk about inflation now. It does not mean that prices have dropped drastically. No. What it means is that the rate at which prices are rising, that even though things are rising, it's not as before. But people think when they say inflation,
the prices are dropping. No, of course. We're talking about percentage.
What they are saying is that look, there's a bit of more stability, and the rate at which prices are rising, which is inflation, has now got into a single digit, which means that things can get better. But I would think that look, let's wait to let me get some small things, and the prices still shock me. How do I not be in the best place to talk about whether things that are very, very expensive? Crazy expensive. There might be one or two things that harvest period means that there's going to be a lot more products available, and so prices are probably going to drop a bit at that particular time.
Right. Thank you.
There are things are still generally expensive, very, very expensive. If you consider where we're coming from to where we are now.
Right. I understand. We get you. But we have to go side forward because of our time.